Hi, I'm Kathy Murphy-Peddle, and I'm chair of the Art at the Gate Committee. I'd like to welcome you to the premiere of the second of our two plein air videos. These were recorded in beautiful Twillingate, Newfoundland, Canada, as part of the Art at the Gate 2020 virtual event. So Art at the Gate is a non-profit visual art festival that was first held in July 2019 in Twillingate. Following its success, plans were well underway for our 2020 event, but of course, as you know, with COVID, that had to be canceled. So this prompted us to try and find a more innovative way to bring a small piece of our festival to you, and we chose to do that virtually. As I stated last week, our committee feels very, very fortunate to have the support of two outstanding plein air artists, Jean-Claude Roy and Clifford George, and we sincerely thank them for sharing a bit of themselves and their art with us. I would also like to thank Jill Morris, who has done a fabulous job as a moderator, and Mike and his crew of 618 Entertainment for producing these videos for us. So today's video was recorded along the beach of scenic Upper Jenkins Cove. And as you may notice from this video, the wind and the activity on the beach presented a huge challenge for our production crew. So now it's time to introduce our second plein air artist, Clifford George. During the winter, Cliff works mainly in his studio in Whiteway, Trinity Bay, but during warmer times of the year, he loves to travel around the province to plein air paint, to gather material for his studio work, but he also loves to chat with the people he meets about the stories and the history of the places he visits. Cliff works mainly with heavy body acrylics and palette knife. The vibrant colors of his artwork are reflective of his larger-than-life personality and the captivating stories that he just loves to tell. Cliff is primarily a self-taught artist, but received a formal art education at the College of Trades and Technology in St. John's, and continued his education through private studies and workshops with prominent artists such as Don Wright, Wally Brantz, and Bob Rogers. Cliff has had numerous successful solo exhibitions, and his paintings are in public and private collections around the world. So please feel free to paint along or just sit and watch as Cliff brings the scene in front of him alive on his canvas. Enjoy, and thank you for watching.
So hi, welcome to Art at the Gate 2020. This is our virtual year. Last year we had a really successful festival here in Twillingate, and we wanted to follow that up with something, but COVID had a different idea. So we decided to invite two artists to paint outdoors and give you all a chance to either paint along or just even watch two artists at work and find out a little bit about them and about how their process, what their process is. So you're able to watch in the comfort of your own home and relax, watch. If you decide to paint along now or decide to paint along later, what we will do is we will ask you to check out our website, and on our website we will repeat this broadcast, as well as have some still life photos of the area. And I promised myself I wouldn't do those alms, Kathy. There you go. What we will do is we will ask you, once you have painted, if you upload your pictures or send them to us, we will upload them to our site. So we will then put them up on our website, and the critiqued ones will be invited or may be invited to participate in our next festival, where we would display your work in various locations around Twillingate. So today we have Clifford George, and Clifford's going to be painting in acrylics. And Clifford, can you tell us a little bit about what you're looking at right now, so people know that what
the little cove and the little shed over there in the house, all cuddled into the cove, right?
And why did you pick that particular area to paint?
Well, I don't pick it myself. Like, I just drive around, and when I see something and it hits me, that's what I got to paint.
Sounds perfect.
Yeah.
And you're hardly stuck for choice here in Twillingate. Anyone who's ever been to the Twillingate area will know how it is absolutely a painter's paradise. It's a place where even if you're not into the arts, you can still come and enjoy the beautiful scenery, the icebergs, the whales, and the hospitality of the people who live here. So we're just having a look at Clifford getting started here. Cliff, so you're painting in acrylics?
A palette knife, acrylic and brush.
Okay, so the palette knife, acrylics, and the brush. And do you know a little bit about the paints that you're using there?
Well, usually acrylics, heavy-bodied acrylics.
Heavy-bodied acrylics. Are there any particular colors that you're interested in using?
But when I was a boy, I couldn't find colours, so now I use all colours.
Perfect. That's the way we like
I
to
don't.
hear.
I bother with the primaries, but I bother with that. I don't know what colour I can get my hands on now. Newfoundland's full of colour.
It is
And
full
they
of
have more
color.
green of Ireland's in our landscape too.
There you go. So tell us a little bit about your composition there. What have you got going on there? How?
Well, I see that mountain up there.
Yep.
I'm pulling that out and putting it over there.
Okay.
So you can do that.
Absolutely, you can do it. So no question about
And I'm
it.
adding some to hill. See, just by smacking the palette knife. Look, and looking at what I'm doing. Concentrate.
And one of the issues we're having today is with the wind, and that's a typical problem in Newfoundland and Labrador. But we just go with it, and we have a great technical team that's here that's doing filming and that's also doing the audio, and they are working through all the wind that we have to deal with. We are very fortunate to have sunshine on this beautiful day. So just a reminder too, so if you do decide to upload your pictures to our website, I shouldn't say upload, I guess it's send them to us and we'll upload them on the website. If you decide to do that, the website is www.artatthegatenl.com. So we look forward to hearing from you and seeing the work. This is the exciting part of it. Wish you could be here. And I think that's one of the reasons why we're doing this, is because we want to show off beautiful historic Twillingate, but also inspire you to possibly travel here sometime and visit our festival in the future, and also to get out and to try plein air painting if you haven't done it before. So Cliff, just a little bit about where you were born. Where were you born?
I was born over in Trinity Bay, White Trinity Bay.
And have you been there all your life?
Well, I moved around a lot. I told a fella a whole bunch of stories one time, and he said, you lived many lives. Because you moved around at different jobs, right? Well, you had to make a living, didn't you?
Yeah, you did. So were you always in Newfoundland?
I left one time.
And came right
And
back?
I left the second time. You know where I went the second time? Same here at Miquelon. I bumped into myself 14 times to come home.
In case you didn't know, besides being an incredible painter, Clifford is also a wonderful storyteller. And 5 minutes with Clifford, you'll get to know lots and lots about the province for sure. So, any other? Tell me a little bit about your family, Cliff.
Well, what do you mean, my immediate family?
Yeah.
Well, my wife Shirley, who keeps me on the straight and narrow.
Well, she's important. She's the one that's.
My daughter Alison, who's a photographer.
So the arts runs in your family. Are there any other artists in your family?
My father had a show in New York and didn't know he was an artist.
You're going to have to explain that one, Cliff.
Well, he came into Christina Parker Gallery in town and wanted to get someone to take part in Manhattan, New York, when Cod was king. And my father carved folk art pieces of Newfoundlanders doing things. So he carved the whole Newfoundland fishery from Manhattan, New York, when Cod was king.
Wow.
I took part in it too, but he was the main person in the whole show.
Isn't that something?
Yeah. But he didn't even know he was an artist even then. He was just doing it, you see. He was just doing it for the sake of doing it.
But isn't that the way that a lot of there are a lot of artists here? They're just it's not formal training.
A lot of artists now, they grow up and they don't have to develop it. They don't see it the way we do. Because it was important in my time, my life, because I didn't have much outside interest in a lot of things. My interest was just in my art and growing up around the bay and studying it, all the different aspects of nature that I could study. There's some hill, look.
That's beautiful, Cliff. Now that's some size palette knife there too, I might add. That's beautiful.
See, there's music. People say to me they take classes from me and they want music on, and I tell them no, you can't turn on the music. There's music in the canvas.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, you got to find the music yourself.
So you're affected by the other things. So like when you paint, are you thinking about the sounds around you, the
Everything like that, yeah. The sounds
Yeah.
of the beach and the water whispering to the rock, stuff like that. And you notice I never use small palettes.
No.
It restricts yourself.
Yeah, you don't
When I
want
was
to
going
do
to
that.
school and had to do an essay, I'd turn over the page so I wouldn't have to use the lines.
Oh, I love it. That's
I
great.
didn't like the lines. It restricts your movement. So what you want to say, you got to keep in the boundaries. I hate that.
So you never colored between the lines?
No.
No, or outside the lines,
No.
I should say. So have you always been a painter, Cliff?
Yeah, that's all I ever did.
So, and did you have a job outside of painting?
Oh yeah, I was fortunate enough. When I worked with EC doing advertising, I used to design neon signs.
Okay,
Yeah, paint signs, right?
excellent.
Paint signs on trucks. Well, there's nobody like that around now.
No, I don't suppose there is.
No.
They've got machines that do it. It's not quite the
Yeah.
same, is it?
No, I used to make a lot of money on the weekends when I get off work, painting signs for people like Max Powell.
Yep,
I did all his trucks in carbon here. I did Brookfield ice cream trucks on the weekends.
yep.
Yeah.
So what were you doing as a job then during those times?
Well, I worked around wherever I get. I worked in Long Harbour one time, and they started Long Harbour.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a good job.
Now, I heard you worked at the medical school for a while as
Yeah,
well?
well, I worked like an Academy of Art. You know, you learned how to do everything, but you didn't get any money.
Yeah.
God help me, I still love them. But I went to the medical school. There was a job. I had to apply for a job in the medical school, and I applied for it, and I got it. As a medical artist, and they trained me on it, and
So that's amazing.
Graphic.
That was really precise work you had to do at the medical school.
Oh,
If you
yeah.
were doing the medical art. There was no large
well, I had
palette
lots
knives
of
there.
formaldehyde to sniff.
That's not good.
No.
So you're quite familiar with anatomy.
Oh yeah, I know my anatomy very good. I can do any colostomy with a pencil. Anything to do with the bowels, I can do it with a pencil.
Oh my goodness.
I did it for Dr. Hannah.
Well, I gather that's where you started selling your paintings too, or a lot of them.
Well, I sold a lot of work there. You notice I'm not going to paint here dry it up, right?
Yeah.
I'm using that for texture. Just look.
Okay.
Look, it's like Jello, look.
Oh my goodness.
Oh yeah.
The one that smears that on, the lumps come through the
So you like having that texture in your
Well, it's
work?
good for them cliffs there, especially the one there, like, the side on there, no?
Yeah.
I'll put more colour on top of that later, see? The scratching and everything.
So Cliff, when you started this, there was only a really general sketch that you did there.
Yeah.
And I know you've been sketching this morning and you've been going around this area. So you're just keeping it just a basic sketch and then going on from there, I guess.
Yeah. Well, what I do with this, I'll work at this again after for a little while. There's a bit of sand here in the beach, see over here.
Yeah. So how else do you achieve texture there in your work?
Well, I'm going to ask someone to go down to the beach and get a little bit of sand, yeah?
Oh,
Do
okay.
that for you too?
Yeah.
We have Kathy Murphy-Peddle here too, part of our Art at the Gate committee, and she's going down to pick up some sand as we speak. Something else about lovely Twillingate. Come and see the beaches and the sand and the icebergs and the whales. Can't beat it. And so that really sort of changes the direction too of your paint on the canvas there. See some good vertical lines, horizontal lines, and throwing in a few of the
Some dark colour there, see, to
diagonals.
put some texture in the cliffs.
Yep.
Right? Just by touching the palette now. That's the way I work, that's my technique.
Do you ever prime your canvases first?
Oh jeez, I got lots to say there. When I want to get that now. Well, I didn't take time to prime it this morning.
But do you normally like put a color down first?
Yeah, light colours or something like that.
Yeah?
But where I use heavy texture, you
Yeah,
know,
it's not really needed in the same way for
not
sure.
fair, is it?
No. So Shirley's been really supportive of your career.
Yeah. Well, Shirley got me started. It's a good thing I met Shirley.
So how'd she get you started?
Well, Shirley was my pen pal for years. She grew up in Montreal.
Yeah?
And when she came home, she didn't want a man with to work in the fish plant. So she told me to go to art school. So I went to art school.
Ah,
And you know, even today, with some artists that I know, I still, we learn from each other.
so who've been some influences on you?
Van Gogh, not just by the way they painted, but the way he just said he wasn't satisfied with what everyone else did. He did his own thing. I
Yeah.
like that. And then I had friends come like Wallamore Brents, who came here from Lafayette during the war. Joey brought him over, right?
Yep.
He became my friend. He went to the same school that Cezanne went. But when you meet people like Wally Brent, you never forget them for the rest of your life, right?
Well, that's incredible. So who else have you been influenced by, do you think? Who else's
That
work?
helped me. Well, I took classes from Nova Scotia School of Art, like people come here and teach printmaking at St. Michael's Print Shop, at the Hardy Oberhood, Don Wright, all the artists that came here,
Yeah.
you know. They were more interested in the Newfoundland art, the young people that were interested in art, than the people that were here were interested. They wanted to help artists,
That's amazing.
right?
And goodness knows you've done that for a lot of us as well. So
Yeah.
it's nice to see that passed on for sure. So you do primarily acrylics. Do you do other mediums?
I used
as
to do
well?
oil. I used to do a lot of oil,
Yeah.
but oil got to me, see? I couldn't do it anymore, right?
And why is that?
I couldn't breathe.
Yeah. It's very hard. There's no question about it. And how about watercolor? I think you said you were doing some
I'm
of
good
those
at,
recently.
I got to say I'm good at watercolors.
You like that?
I've done a lot of watercolors in the day.
Yeah.
Stay there now. The wind is freshening again now, look.
And goodness knows you do a lot of sketching as well, Cliff.
Well, I find that if you don't sketch, you won't learn how to paint. Your perception of what you see and how you shade it and everything is everything.
Yes. Yeah.
know.
No, and you do such beautiful sketches too. There's no question about that.
I hate the part in the sketches.
Well, those of
Jerry
us that
Squires
are,
and Tom Dahl one time came to the house and saw all my sketches. He told me I should have an exhibition down at Christie's, and I did, and I sold them on. It was the loneliest feeling. Because it's like part of your soul gone, you know.
so do you ever find that? Have you ever had like a painting that you really enjoyed that you just didn't want to get rid of and you just held
Several.
on to it? Several.
Yeah.
Do you still have them?
No, well, I got a few, but I'll tell you a story to go along with that question. See, in our family there was a powder horn that was passed down to the generations, right? Like there was a duel took place in our family in New Perlican. The person who won had to put the other best person's name in the duel on the powder horn. So my father showed everyone that came into the house the powder horn. Money can't buy this powder horn, not enough money. Art Taylor came out from Kelly's Oil Antiques, a friend of mine one day, and he said, what about that powder horn? He said, tell me the story on that. So father told him the story. He said, I'll give you $1,000 for that. Father said, take down off the hook, Clifford, and give it to the nice man, will you?
I think what a lot of people may not know is that, like your father, you also did some carving.
Yeah, I dig folk art sometimes.
Yeah, and beautiful folk art.
Yeah, I got some home. I was thinking about this morning what I'm going to do with it. Because I got a lot of it up in the shed now where I'm going to put the hay for the horses for the winter. And it's hard to boys got to put the hay in there, so where am I going to put the foreguard?
So did you have like many people that supported you in all this? Like, were people encouraging?
Nobody was interested in art. I was interested by the reflections I saw on the ponds and the gullies and everything like that. But my grandfather, I used to draw pictures of Superman and Hopalong Castle and all that stuff, see? The heroes, right? And he'd take them and put them in his lunch can, fold them up, see, and show them to the boys. He'd come back and he'd say, boys, you can sure draw Superman, you can sure draw this. So that's really the encouragement you got, right? Now watch the sky, look.
Look at that go. Love that.
You don't want to overdo it, see?
So Cliff, did you always consider yourself an artist, or is this something that,
Well, that's what I made a living at.
well, you're right, then that would certainly do it, for sure.
I used to love sign painting.
You used to love, pardon me?
Sign painting.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
I designed that sign for London, New York, and Paris.
Very good.
The New Way Kitchens downtown.
Yeah,
Fred's Records. They're still around.
they are still around.
Gay Seed.
Now that's, I mean, things change so much. Is it hard to see the changes? Like we were talking about the signs and how now it's done mechanically.
The
and
whole
all
world
done
has
through
changed that
computers.
way.
Yeah, but even the places that you paint, have they changed when you go back?
Well, I'll tell you about Bain Harbour. I went to Bain Harbour every year to paint. And then the fishery closed. And there's a job to paint the places because when you go back they'll be gone, right? And one day I was down the beach and there was 22 bullets coming in by me, the beach. And I didn't know, I just figured someone was going to shoot me, right? So I said to a fellow up on the beach, I said, who was shooting off 22 bullets, right? He was zinging over the water, what? He said, that's a man. He said, see that fishing premises over there? He can't go fishing, he said. And since the fishery closed, the moratorium, he gets a half a dozen beer in the morning and he drinks them till his dinner time comes. And when the bottles gets halfway across the harbour, he shoots them with 22 just for something to do.
Pretty bad.
What? Bored to death, wouldn't he, boy? Shirley was frightened to death. She was there too.
So has the cod moratorium influenced any of your work?
Well, it helped, I suppose.
In what way?
I rushed around Newfoundland trying to capture the last bits of Newfoundland. You know that before everything disappeared. You know, everything has gone modern now.
Do you miss the old ways?
Yeah, I miss it. I miss lots of old places. It used to be.
So what's the biggest change for you in the scenery that you paint?
Like it's changed.
Yeah, like, so...
I started to free up. Well, I had
Nice.
2 back surgeries, 2 hip surgeries. After that, I was looking at my shoes one day and they were black and I painted them red. That's the truth. And from that day on, I put colour in my work.
And I have to say, that's one thing about your work is the way it makes me feel. And I always feel joy when I see your work.
Yeah. Well, some stuff I do without the joy. I stick a few clouds in there, see?
Yeah.
Look, they're up there now. I didn't notice them. Look, they came there, see? Since
They
we've been
knew
here.
you were
look.
here, Cliff.
What?
They knew you were here.
Yeah.
So how about the weather? How does the weather affect your painting?
Well, it depends on how fast you got to work and everything.
Well, you painted acrylic, so I'm thinking anything misty.
You got to work fast or they're going to dry out.
Yeah, well, that's true too.
But I don't mind asking questions. You know what the beauty of all this is?
What's
When
that?
I'm finished, I got a painting to sell. Look,
Oh, absolutely.
I got an
Absolutely.
abstract painting, brother. Done unconsciously on a piece of illustration board, right? That's nice.
So is there any Newfoundland artists whose work you really admire?
I went to the art what do you call it in town where you dinner with a star, where they take you for dinner?
Yes.
And when I walked into the room, after 30 years painting and looked over that room and all the artists I knew were dead. That's inspiring. That's sad. You asked me who inspired me. There was only 3 people in the room, myself and John Claude and Jerry Squires.
Wow.
Eugene Ball, Wally Branch, all them people gone.
Yeah.
The people that taught me and helped me.
That's
Yeah.
significant for sure.
So that's a good answer, isn't it?
Yeah, no, it is.
But they were the ones that I liked. I was down in South Vegas last year painting. I sold my paintings as soon as I had them finished.
I know you sell a lot of paintings by the side of the road, but
Yeah, people like them when they see you doing them. Now I'm going to leave that for a few minutes up there. I've saved my houses for last of that. That's coming, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. We've been really fortunate here in Twillingate and the people who've been so hospitable, including lovely Trudy who's here today, and who we really, really appreciate. Not only the fact that she's given us electricity, but she's also helped Cliff out in terms of finding a little bit of history about the place and allowing us to go to her shed where Cliff had his bite of lunch to have. So it was greatly appreciated. But you can't beat the people in Twillingate. That much I will tell you for sure. So thank you, Trudy.
You're welcome.
Of course, we have people going by wondering what's going on, and anyone who is interested, of course, it's Art at the Gate. It's www.artatthegatenl.com. So that's for more information. Or you can find us on Facebook as well, Art at the Gate. And we certainly look forward to the people who are painting along here today to sending us their pictures so we can get them put on our webpage. People hopefully invited to display in various places too.
I can't forget that wharf. I got to put that in there once.
Oh, for sure. So needless to say, Clifford, if you're selling by the side of the road, it's only the ones that you've just done.
Yeah.
You just painted for sure.
2 there.
Still wet, I'm sure.
In my car, yeah. Purcell's Harbor.
Yeah. So have you checked out some other places then that you'd like to paint?
Yeah.
Where are you going to go around Twillingate? Because you're spoiled for choice. I know that.
Well, I got to look around. I've been here before, see?
Yep. Some beautiful colors in there. And he's definitely not afraid of it. I mean, looking at the size of the knife and how quickly he's painting there, the different things he's doing. Do you have a preference in seasons when you like to paint?
Ever do what?
The seasons. Do you
Yeah,
like winter,
I love
spring,
painting the
summer, fall?
seasons. So just when the seasons start to get, like it is now, coming out like the fall, I'll be painting the oranges and reds and everything like that.
Does that really appeal to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birch trees up at the side. Batwood. I'll go to Batwood.
Nice. Oh yeah, with the birch trees,
Yeah.
for sure.
Now I got to stop in a minute and figure out where I'm going.
And that's great. And anytime you need a break, just let us know, and we'll stop and carry on. So have you ever had any problems with the elements, like bugs, mosquitoes, animals, any of those things?
Put them in the paintings.
Yeah. Put them in the painting? Good. No charge.
No charge, no. No, I got to put a little bit of... See, that's drying out pretty fast now.
So how do you combat that, Cliff?
You don't. You have to squirt it more paint, tear off more cardboard.
Okay. So with your art, are you trying to tell a story, do you think, with your art?
No, I'm just trying to get as many paintings done as I can for our crooks.
Well,
It's a lifelong thing, see?
Yeah.
To paint.
So do you feel like you have to paint?
Yeah, every day.
Every day?
People buying my pallets now, you know.
No?
Just people buying my pallets.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. I'm doing a lot of abstracts on them.
Are you enjoying that?
Yeah.
How's that different from what you're doing with landscapes?
Well, when you get so old, your life becomes sort of abstract.
So do you think you get a better sense of the place painting outside?
Yes, you do, yeah.
Yeah,
You learn more, eh?
yeah. Some beautiful colors you've got there right now. It is a beautiful day, Twillingate. Windy, as I mentioned before, but it is sunny. And despite the fact that Clifford's dressed in a coat and scarf and hat, the rest of us are here in t-shirts and shorts.
Starting off cold this morning.
It did start off cold.
Oh boy. I'm pouring the paint here. Now, where's that thing?
Sand is here.
I have to wash my bill every time I go home. I got all different colors on my bill. Oh, look at that. See, this is where I mix the sand, see? So with the paint.
Oh, so you're going to be changing the palette, I'm assuming, after this, are you?
No.
No, you're going to keep the same?
Squeeze it out somewhere.
So not afraid of the texture at all?
Now what I'm going to do now is that beach, see?
Well, the sound guy is loving you now.
Takes a while.
Yep, no, it takes a bit for sure. I hope we get a chance to get a close-up of this painting afterwards so people can really see the detail and the detail
You gotta
with
watch
the
out the rocks
texture.
don't hit you. Doing this in the studio, you can do it fast.
Well, I guess too, if you're laying the canvas down, it would be easier for something like that with texture to
People
keep
say-
it on.
People say, how'd you get that rock? How'd you get that beach looking like a beach?
So does a palette knife give you lots of texture too?
Yeah.
And do you prefer a palette knife or do you prefer a brush?
I do all brush sometimes. I use a lot of palette knife. You take on the brush and Twillingate, that's a good thing. I want to get down your mug.
Great texture there. So are there any places in Newfoundland in particular that you enjoy painting? That are some favorite
My favorite
spots?
places is Sub-Age.
Really? Yeah, beautiful there.
Yeah.
So do you do many painting trips?
I did last year.
Well, I know
That's all
you-
I did last year.
Yeah.
I went over to Brigus nearly every day.
and not too far from where you live in White Way.
I saw some work in Brigus. And Diddler.
Yeah.
There's people from all over the world there, see?
So
This is drawing pretty fast, see?
yeah, no, it is. I can see it is. Now, Clifford was one of our featured artists at Art at the Gate last year. The reason we wanted to do something this year is because we had such great success with our festival last year. We had a visual arts festival where we had an exhibition, we had artists plein air painting, we had workshops, we had studio tours, we had social activities such as an opening where we had all 3 levels of government. And as I said, we could not have gone through with this or gone ahead without the support of artists like Clifford and Jean-Claude. And we really appreciate it. And the fact that Clifford came back this year to give us a hand was greatly appreciated. So as I said, until we get the festival back up and running, we wanted to make sure that you had an opportunity to see the beautiful area of Twillingate and also see the work of artists such as Clifford. And Clifford was also one of our workshop artists, and every single person that came out of that workshop was thrilled with the work that they did with him. Not only is he a great artist, but he's also a wonderful storyteller. So they were also entertained as they got to be involved with this, the beautiful painting that they did. So Clifford, why Art at the Gate? Why would you get involved with Art at the Gate?
Well, I did much the same thing myself to promote the arts. I'm home for 10 years. And when Kathy asked me about coming down here, I came down to help promote it.
And how about this time, coming back again?
Same thing.
Same thing.
Thank you, Clifford.
Yeah, same reason.
And again, I can't tell you how much that we appreciate it, and I'm sure the people who are viewing.
This is the kelp, see?
Yeah.
That's the old dead stuff in the beach, right?
Yep.
I got some more of that in there.
So Cliff, what do you think was your proudest moment?
Proudest moment? That's dangerous.
Why
Right?
is that dangerous?
In my lifetime,
Yes.
when I went down in the beach with my girlfriend, I took off her red bathing suit.
Okay, that is dangerous. We'll skip that one.
Never forget this again.
No, as you said,
What?
Clifford is a fine storyteller.
A shocking boy. This is going to add to it, look.
Yeah.
There, boy.
Now, Cliff, I think I'm just about ready to take a break. How about yourself? Okay, you just use up that paint, and then we'll stop and we'll take a break. And I'm sure everybody.
I get back at the house, then I in the water.
That's perfect. Perfect. Well, some beautiful stuff going on already.
Beautiful colored rocks down there, look.
Absolutely stunning.
This is coming, you know. This is the best part I like about it so far.
So you seem to be using a combination of hard lines and softer lines.
Yeah, I'll put in soft lines when this is all over.
Yeah.
When the roughing in is done.
You showed us a
I'm
couple
going
of
to switch now to a brush.
Yep. You showed us a couple of pictures earlier, and I have to say the colors in them were outstanding. Really, really good. Something, as I said, it makes you feel cheerful. It's such a
Makes you
positive
happy,
feeling.
hey boy.
So you've sold lots of paintings in Newfoundland and outside too, I bet.
All over the place.
All over
Down
the
the
place.
States, everywhere.
Where's the furthest place you think you've sold something?
Norway and that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got invited over there by the guy who bought the work.
Wow.
Gro Larson bought something in Norway last year. Do you know her?
Nope.
She's a photographer.
Okay.
I'm just going to put a bit of color in here now. I got to make a bit. I got to get this painting grounded so that it speaks.
And so that's really important to you too, that your work speaks to people.
Yeah, you got to get it grounded.
Yeah. So what kind of feeling do you get when you paint? Like, is this something you have to do? You have to paint
Yeah, every day.
every day. I know you mentioned that before. It's
I can't get by the day without painting.
it's part of your soul.
Yeah.
Do you think all artists feel that way?
Yeah, you know what got me more excited than anything lately?
What's that?
Doing abstracts.
Well, tell me a bit about those.
Well, you see, you think about your life and and you go through your life, right? And you think about things that becomes abstract. And then I paint them. Like dreamscapes.
Do you ever stop thinking about it? Do you ever stop thinking about painting?
No,
About saying things?
all the time.
I know you're a person that helps Newfoundland ponies and you have horses and things.
Yeah.
Do you ever paint or
I can paint
sketch them?
horses. I can paint horses real fast.
Yeah? Well, I guess you got to, don't you?
Yeah, I know where all the muscles are and everything like that in the horses.
So do you prefer to sketch or paint those horses?
Paint and sketch.
So you'll do both of those.
See, we had lots of time. I'd do all that for you.
A little tougher though doing horses where they move about.
Well, that's fun.
Is it?
I was over there, I get so over it, I'll tell you a story, but see, you're not going to get that done.
Okay.
Well, I was over in the meadow in Swansea, and all the horses chased me with my sketchbook and that chair. And when I sat down, all the ponies knew me. And I sketched them and sketched them and sketched them. And there was people there, I don't know who they were, Libby Carew and someone else, a photographer, taking pictures of the ponies, see, right about in the back of the meadow. So I got tired, I said, I'm going out of here. And they'll see as the horse chased me down to the fence, they had to come down, the horses left them, come down with me. Friends of the Newfoundland pony, but
So how do you decide where you're going to paint? What about the place sort of really stands out to you that makes this somewhere you want to do? Like, why this place?
well, this place is full of Newfoundland. It's still got the Newfoundland in it, this place. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like right here, there's Newfoundland all over the place, wherever you look.
So you're looking for things with character?
Yeah, but if you see the cliffs around here, you know that the houses were there, and there was stages built on them cliffs. They're gone, Edmund.
So are you attracted to the shapes that you see, the colors,
Yeah,
all those things?
shapes in the rocks and everything like that. Gotta watch your brushes now this time of day. Now, you see the pile sticks?
Yes. So we should mention you've changed to a brush from your palette knife.
Yeah, I could use palette knife,
Yeah.
but I decided not to. You want to hear? I told you my bubble thing, didn't I?
No?
You remember I said I didn't be using a brush, I switched. I'll tell you a bubble story. Good story.
Go ahead.
Old fellow in the concert years ago when I was a boy, he got up in the concert, old Dougie Cassidy said this poem, this little recitation, and I never forgot it. Bubble, says the kettle. Bubble, says the pot. Bubble, 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 we're getting very hot. Shall I take you off the stove? No, you need not trouble. That's the way those bubbles talk. Bubble, bubble, bubble.
I love it. Love it. Love it.
This is a good brush.
Yeah. John Claude's had terrible brushes, by the way.
Yeah, I know. He wears them out.
Really awful.
My boy has a lot of brushes.
So I'm not sure if I mentioned, but we are doing a session with both Jean-Claude Roy and Clifford George. And they're doing these painting sessions, and ones that you can view once again on our website after this live event has happened. And if you go to our website, which is www.artatthegatenl.com, you will be able to follow along what we're doing, see the videos. You can replay them at your leisure, and you can see some still lifes that we've also taken from the areas where they've painted. So we'd like you guys to paint. If you're painting along with Clifford right now, fantastic. Or if you want to try and do something later on, please feel free to do so. How's COVID changed for you, Clifford? You know, in terms
Well,
of...
it locked me in.
It did lock you in. I know we talked a little bit about this
I did a whole
before.
bunch of paintings during COVID. Doing like on Facebook.
Yep.
And people from all over Canada bought them.
And that's a great way to get in contact with Clifford too if you're interested. You can see some of those videos he's got posted on Facebook.
Yeah, you go in on my just Clifford George. That's all. Become my friend.
You become his friend. So it's just Cliff, is it not
That's all.
Clifford?
Yeah.
Cliff George on Facebook.
Yeah.
And of course, be sure to like Art at the Gate as well on Facebook, and we'll keep you updated on things that are happening with Cliff and with the festival as well.
See, there's the sign painting tricks. Look. That's the sign painter.
Is that to keep your hand steady, is it?
Watch, look.
Look at that.
Oh. I used to do the cars for the minute. Remember the car shows they used to have?
Yep.
I used to do the pinstriping on the car shows.
Wow. You know, I always laugh at people who say they can't draw a straight line. Well, it's one of the hardest things to have to do, is draw a straight line.
I say it's pretty boring drawing straight lines. Now, boy, I'm going to put some paint on now.
Wow. And I think there we see signature Cliff George coming out just there in that red. A lot of people are afraid of colored, Cliff.
Afraid of it, yeah. That's sad.
It is sad. You totally embrace it there.
That's a shade, see?
So will you often change the colors of things that are there, or?
I changed them, yeah. Suit
Yeah.
myself. I wasted too much paint.
So Clifford, you said you went to NASCAD?
No, I took lessons from people who went NASCAD. They came from
okay.
NASCAD.
Yep.
Like Bob Rogers in printmaking.
Yep.
I took printmaking from Bob. Lithography.
Yep.
That's a nice medium. There you go. It'll come together now, that paint. Little while.
It seems kind of hard to go from being very free with the rocks in the back and having to be more exact now, even though it's still very loose. Do you really sort of have to change what you're doing when you do that?
Sometimes, like I'm going to put white in there now.
Yeah.
On top of that.
So again, you're putting your own freestyle on that, which is great.
See, you just got to touch it because if you overworks it, see, you'll mix it with the other paint, right?
What advice would you give to young painters right now who are just starting
Learn
out?
how to draw.
Learn how to draw?
Yeah. Get a good drawing tool.
Yeah, no, I think you're absolutely right. I think drawing's the key, isn't it?
Drawing is everything. Now, what color do you want me to put that shade?
I don't. Any suggestions from the studio audience that we have here? Well, someone said they like red. Did you want to do another red one?
Yes, no trouble.
Okay, there you go. This has got. Yeah, the red really stands out, especially against all those blues and greens and things. Is that a primary red, Cliff?
Yeah, that's far red.
Yeah.
That's a good red boy.
Now, do you ever lose those big
That's
tubes?
some
I mean,
red.
that they dry out too quickly for you to use?
No, I don't. Because
No?
I use them. I use them so they don't dry out. You gotta watch it. You can't let them lie around.
Yeah. Now, I'll tell you, one of my biggest frustrations is with the lids on the paints.
You're getting them back on.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right.
Hate that.
Well, I use tape. If it don't work,
Oh, really? Okay, that works.
I put tape on.
And how about the brushes and things? Do you use good brushes or like synthetic or natural or?
Well,
Yeah.
I fix out the ones that works. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah.
So we got 2 red shades so far. I'll do the roof next. I can switch back and forth with brushes again.
So earlier we had Trudy, who was here, who was kind enough to give us the power that we've used to run the mics, and we have some people here from St. John's as well,
Still here, yeah?
who are still here. They came last night, and we have all kinds of people driving by as well, so you hear the cars. That's what it's about, but everyone curious and thrilled, I'm sure, to see what Cliff is doing here. It's so much fun to see an artist's work and to see how he or she creates something, how they start from absolutely a totally blank canvas and work till they get to the point of just some really interesting, lovely art. And to see different techniques too. So cool. So Cliff, do you do a lot of this stuff afterwards in your, like fix up things and stuff in your...
I got some paintings home with 3 paintings underneath them.
Oh, go away. So do you give up on paintings ever?
Yeah, sometimes I throw them away. Destroy them, right?
Okay,
I
well,
used to, but I don't anymore.
no, I guess you can always paint over them regardless, right?
Well, you don't destroy them anymore because you'd be looking at them for a while and you say, I got to go back into that. I'm putting that bit of mauve on there because it looks nice.
Yep, no, I agree.
See, I'm running out of space now.
You need a bigger table, Cliff. Oh, and so you're going in with the white on that house. I thought that was beautiful for that house too. So
Yeah.
that really stands out. Of course, by using the paint that you are, you're also adding some texture to it as well.
Yeah. You see that old house down there in Wild Cove?
And where?
In Wild Cove, that real old house.
Is that the green one?
No, it's the one next to the green one.
Okay, no, I didn't really pay close enough attention. You like that one?
Yeah. I take my time though, you notice that.
And you got to do that, Cliff. And we also understand too. This is a lot of pressure doing this, and you know there are opportunities that you'll have back in your studio if you want to do some touch-ups and things like that. That's often the case as you're going out about. I can't imagine painting here not just for a film crew but also for an audience. So I'm very impressed with that. Great technique there. I like that sign painting technique you have gotten down there.
They don't leave you, hey?
Yeah.
Not saying much now.
No, I think everyone's just interested to see what you're doing and how you've been doing it. So it looks like you're using a liner there, are
Liner
you?
brush, yeah.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do that. Liner brush is good in if you're doing the rocks. I'll show you. Now, see them rocks out there?
Yep. Oh, look at that just pop. Yeah.
See? Finish it off, right?
So during the last little break, we had a look at one of your sketch pads, and I was really impressed with your figure work and the stories that you were telling with your paintings. You said before that you'd
I collect the stories of the people that live in the houses and everything.
So it's more than just the place; it's about the people in the place for you.
See, look, that adds to it, don't it?
Absolutely, absolutely.
I switch his colors all the time.
Do you ever use black? Just straight black?
For drawing in, if I'm putting in cracks in the rocks or anything, I do.
Okay, yeah.
See, when that dries, I put curtains in the windows and everything.
Wow, very good. So you're not trying to do a photograph of the piece. You're just trying to get the impression of what's there.
Yeah.
How do you think your painting has changed over the years, Cliff?
You got more. I got to loosen up.
Just the loosening up, yeah.
You see nature different. You paint landscapes all your life. You can see the changes coming.
Well, do you think having done really precise drawings from before has made a difference in that as well?
Life drawings?
Well, when you were doing the medical school drawings. It has to be quite a departure to go from that to something as loose as what you're doing today.
Well, there's a lot of detail in the drawings I did in there.
Yeah. And it must have been on a much smaller scale, of course, as well.
Some of it.
What's the biggest painting you ever painted?
6 by 8.
Wow, that's huge.
I got 2 home now, 6 by 8.
Was that daunting? Was that challenging to do something that large?
No. It's easier to do, really.
I guess as an artist, when you look at the scene that you're painting, you're really trying to focus in on really what's relatively a small area. Oh, I like that.
See, I'll touch that up after.
Yeah, oh, that looks good.
See, that adds to it, don't it?
It does, yeah. I have to say that first red shed there closest to us really invites you into the painting, you know? Oh, now I like what you've done there.
Yeah.
So you've got the light on the dark and the dark on the light.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some green in there.
So that's a good technique for contrast for sure.
Putting the stoppers on against the thing.
Again, I'm going to invent that for you, Cliff, I promise you. Better lid for the paint tubes. Got to be done.
Now, Marshall. going for the bright yellows now. That's expensive. That's $34 a tube. But boy, my wife says to me all the time, go and get some paint. You don't like to see me run out of paint.
So Cliff, I'm going to give you a couple of words here now. I want you to pick out which one relates to you most.
You're going to get in trouble again.
I know we're going to get in trouble. That's why I'm going to do this with you. So horses or ponies?
There's a bit in both, horses and ponies, see? There's ponies and horses and ponies.
You're not going to make this easy for me, are you?
Ponies.
Yeah. I'm only new with this interviewing thing. How about goats or chickens?
Goats.
Goats? Why?
Goats got a brain, boy.
Okay, chickens don't.
Chickens got a brain too, but goats are smart.
Okay.
They even know how smart you have to, if you let them. But you don't have to let them.
How about Mozart or Beatles?
Mozart,
Good for you.
nice for painting too.
Oils or acrylics?
Oils and acrylics, but I've gone to acrylics. I can't go back to oils now. It's coming now, isn't it?
It is. It's doing really well there. How about hot dogs or Jig's dinner?
Hot dogs. Jig's dinner.
Really?
Yeah, Jig's dinner gives you too much gas.
That would do it too. Brush or palette knife? I'm not going to make this easy for you.
Palette knife.
Yeah. The
For
sky
texture.
or the sea?
The sea. The sand and the sea keeps beckoning to me, to me, to me. Nat King Cole.
I love that. I should have had Nat King Cole or Mozart. How about that?
Yeah, that would have done it. Nat King Cole.
Nat King Cole. Figured as much. Coffee or tea?
Tea. You know why?
Why? I don't know why.
I was up in Ontario working on the farms. As a fellow there from Danville. You know how Newfoundlanders you get to run after every day? I was drinking my coffee and you kicked the skunk. And I went down to my coffee, on my clothes. I never drank coffee since.
Love it.
I'm beginning to like all this now.
I do too.
Big lump up there, look.
Painting outside or in the studio?
Outside is the elements, boy. Outside. Let's get some of that stuff up there now, that good poker for us. Oh,
Look at that. So Cliff, if you were to go back and talk to yourself at 20, what would you say to yourself?
what would I say if I was 20?
Well, just to
If I
your
had to go back.
20-year-old, to your 20-year-old self. Knowing what you know now, what would you say to your 20-year-old self?
I wouldn't get married, and I'd get rich and go on plenty of fish.
Okay, again, questions not to ask Cliff. Thank you, Cliff. Shirley, I'm so sorry.
Yes, boy.
Okay, now here's
Sure, only for
another
Shirley,
thing.
I wouldn't be at this.
I know that. Believe me, I know that. Okay, here's some other questions now. I just want your first reaction to these.
Yeah.
And you continue painting as I ask these. How do you feel about technology?
Great.
Why do you like technology?
Well, technology, what about MRI machines and stuff like that?
Okay,
You know?
that's good.
That's
How
what-
about
that's
your
technology.
favorite pony?
My favourite pony, Skipper of Avalon.
And what was special about that pony?
Because Skipper of Avalon was a pony that we got to save the Newfoundland pony. And I bred him to all the mares I could to bring Newfoundland ponies back. And the fact that I didn't have to tie him on, and that I opened my trailer door, that pony ran to get the trailer because he knew where he was going. I took him into McDonald Drive School one day for recess, right, for all the kids, education week. And the kids had their apples. He didn't even look for the apples. He was looking over here to see where the mares was. What he did.
Oh my, Cliff.
I got to get some more of that beach right here.
How about what female artists' work do you admire?
Female artist, what do you mean?
A woman.
Mary Pratt.
Mary Pratt, yeah, no, I agree.
Not only that, she's a good friend. She was a good friend. Yeah.
So how about if I say the word white way? What comes to mind first?
You said it wrong.
Oh, did I? Well, that's the first thing. It's not white way?
There's White Away.
White away.
But there's no A in it.
White away. I will remember that because I've been told where my cabin is not Hopal, it's Hopal. Is that correct?
Yeah.
So white away.
Yeah.
What do you think of when you think of white away?
Fishing with my grandfather. Going to school, thinking about, what the teacher was telling me, I was thinking about what I like to be pulling the trap with my grandfather and stuff like that.
That's pretty cool.
Thinking about growing up under the flakes and listening to the old people's storytelling before television and electric lights. That's what I think about. The real old Newfoundland.
Do you think that finds itself in your paintings too?
Yeah.
Have you ever done a painting that you've really thought about your grandfather with?
Well, I do that all the time.
What kind of things would you put in your painting to do that?
Well, usually my grandfather and I, we went fishing for the first time in the woods. We did everything for the first time, see? So everything is linked to that. Everything you do in life is linked to that.
So you were really close to your grandfather?
Yeah, both grandfathers. Everybody is, I think.
I think that's wonderful. You had that kind of relationship with them.
Well, we all grew up in one house, see? Like if there was TV and somebody died, the COVID is only something new. If people died at home when we were growing up, the youngsters came to live with us, or the grown-ups came to live with us, right? That's the way it was back then.
So that would have been a lot of people in one house.
Yeah. And nobody would, they all died, they got put out through the living room window too. That's how the funeral started. The window got taken out of the living room. They were waked in the living room, and the procession was read out in order of the relatives, and they all walked to church behind the pony and a cart, right?
So the pony and cart was the hearse.
Yeah. So I had a buddy that was dying, right? And we made a hearse for him. We figured out how tall he was and all that stuff, and we pulled him to his grave.
With the pony?
With the pony, yeah. Right to the graveyard. Do you know something? That pony in the graveyard never moved an inch. A robin come pitched on his aims and stayed there all when the procession was going on.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
Yeah. And the horse knew Calvin too, my friend. This is starting to come around now. That cardboard's going to be worth something, buddy. No, I finished the water. That's coming, isn't it?
That's absolutely coming along, yeah, for sure.
Now I got to make room for the water now. Lots of nice greens in that water this evening.
So it's nice to hear about some of the other artists you've known, Cliff, like Mary Pratt.
Wally Brandt.
Wally Brandt, of course.
Hans Mielis.
Who is it?
Hans Mielis was brought here.
Oh.
Yeah.
So another artist I believe you were close with too was Stuart Montgomery.
He's my best friend, yeah.
Yeah. And his death was so tragic in the art world, there's no question about it.
Yeah, we had a big funeral for him.
Yeah. So what do you think about, can you describe a little bit about his work, about what?
Well, he was a real thing, boy. Yeah. Stuart used to have a lot of cats in his house, right?
Okay.
14 cats sometimes.
My
And when they'd
goodness.
go to paint, every cat would look at them and stop what they were doing. Something in it.
So you're both animal lovers.
Yeah. I don't know if Stuart was animal lover. He said he was.
Oh.
Look at that. That's good pure stuff, isn't it?
I think you got a half tube there on that now.
Look at that. Look.
And that's beautiful.
All different colours mixing together. Look, on their own, right? And we got nutmegs. On freshwater ponds, I used to go and take the water out of the pond and put it in my paintings.
I'm assuming salt water though would have a horrible effect on the painting.
Well,
wouldn't
you don't use that.
it? No.
Some good stuff here, look.
Look at that. There's the other half of the tube. I like that greeny color too that you've got in there as well.
Yeah, that's Viridian.
Oh, is it? Okay.
See, one time you bought Viridian, that's all you could buy was Viridian, right? For
Yeah.
greens. Now it's Taylor green, all kinds of greens now. And look for some water on the beach now. Waves, gentle waves coming in. No, it's not finished, you know. Some more green now. This is sap green now. I don't like that.
No, I love sap green,
I don't like it for that. I like it for trees.
and I don't mind an olive green too.
I know olive green real well.
I bet you do.
Yeah, she's from Greens Harbor.
I figured as much.
Yeah, boy, that's a nice
I
color.
should
watch.
never set you up like that, Clifford.
Huh? Look!
Oh yeah.
You know, I was out fishing the other year. Anybody here see a sunfish when they were fishing? He was sunning on the water, see? And I wanted to get his picture, right? So I went over close by. He swam underneath the boat, looked up at me, swam over, and I got pictures. All of a sudden I heard bubbles coming in the boat. He took the plug right out of my boat. Half bay. So I just had enough gas to get into the slipway. See, it's coming in over the beach, look. See them rocks I put in, look. That's so done. I haven't got all that finished yet. But I'm getting there.
So how do you know when you're done?
Orchestra stops playing.
Oh, okay. I'm still hearing a little music there.
I love it out here, boy. Look around them rocks. Mist out here, see? You can't see the houses. It's nice the sound of a brush with paddle knife.
Well, we had the percussion section earlier when you were doing the sand.
Yeah. I gotta have a look down a minute.
So do you do that? Do you stand back from it every now and again? And
Yeah, I usually do.
a little tougher
The
here.
point of land, see the wind is just sucking at the cliffs there, the water is, right?
Yep.
You've heard that, hey? It dances, see, like sunlight, see? Dancing on the water. See, that's coming from the around the point, right? She's not blowing hard now.
No.
Now I gotta look for my little brush now. I suppose that's gone to a frizzle. Look. Now I'll use some of that hot orange now.
I think that's another signature Clifford George move. Bringing in those bold colors there. I was going to say primary, but that's a secondary.
I get some more of that now. This is some expensive.
So I noticed you're using a wide variety of brand names for paints and things. Is there any one type of paint that you really like?
Yeah, it's that stuff there. Look, that golden. It's got a good strong base to it.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I love the goldens as well. But they're so darn expensive.
Yeah, that's the killer.
Yeah.
I was over in Mad Rock last week.
Oh, over Bay Roberts?
Yeah. I did some paintings down there.
So do you ever do paintings like in town or anything?
I did a lot in town, yeah.
Yeah?
Cityscapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how about things like still lifes or florals or anything?
Yeah, they're
like
easy. I did a whole section on flowers. I did a whole series on it.
Yeah. And I know you've been a really big mentor to many artists as well, Cliff.
Yeah.
That I know you certainly.
So I know artists that want to come out here today.
Oh, I bet. And unfortunately, the situation is such with COVID that we were unable to have this, and this would have been a wonderful time. I know people who came here last year certainly enjoyed it. And I have a feeling we have some people in our audience, more people in our audience that are here that certainly show an interest now that you've been here as well.
So much color in the hills and everything.
Now this person's going to kill me, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have to say thank you to Kathy Murphy-Peddle for organizing the first Art at the Gate Festival, and also for all her work involved here. She has been the driving force behind everything, and she's one of those people, if she asks you if you'll do something, everyone jumps and just says how high. And she has absolutely been the driving force behind this, and it's been an exceptional ride, and I'm happy to be part of it thanks to her. And the hardest thing in the world is for her to be here and not speak.
This dry brush, see?
Oh, I like that.
I don't see a chimney in that house. I'm going to put one in there once. Later on. That's adding to it, that colour, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
That's dry brush, see? Or dry knife. Just hitting the brush, right? Hitting it out of the hillsides.
It's amazing what that does to the painted.
I gotta stand out now and look at it.
Yep.
Coming around now. I'll be pleased when it's done.
Well, I think a lot of people here are pretty impressed with it so far. If you could only see the nodding heads behind me right now, There's a lot of people who are very impressed with what you've done. We always say that running joke, watching paint dry, but it's inspiring when it's like this, for sure. Well, Cliff, you're not afraid of the color.
No.
No. And I really hope what this does is inspire people at home to paint and again send their paintings to us so that we can have a look at them. And get to share them, hopefully not just with people of Newfoundland and Labrador, but also with people in the rest of Canada and perhaps even around the world. We want this to be shared as much as possible and encourage people to consider coming to Art at the Gate, our festival, but also to visit Newfoundland and Labrador. And as I said before, the people here in Twillingate couldn't be any friendlier. You will enjoy your stay. You will be made so welcome, as we all have been. And if you are a painter in particular, you will be inspired to want to paint. And the food is great. That's the other thing. Fresh fish. Can't beat it.
I sell my paddles, you know.
If you have any questions about what we're doing, please look at our Facebook page as well, and feel free to contact us. Okay, I'm going to remember that trick now.
What was that?
The hold your hand as you paint that straight line. Definitely gives you a bit more security there.
I used to be good at painting S's.
How about lettering? I always find the lettering just horrible.
Yeah, I'm good at that.
Yeah,
I had to learn all the different. I had to learn all the different alphabets for painting.
Yeah. So what are you enjoying about that painting right now that you've done? Is there any particular spot that you're looking at
I
thinking?
look all this action up here,
Yeah.
and this is coming down here. I put that down the full end of the thing that time.
So do you have a favorite color?
My favorite colors.
Yeah. Or just give me one.
Like this, I love that color there.
It's beautiful. Is that the Viridian again?
No, it's a Should have come up with all kinds of colours now.
That's true. And they mix so well together when you did that with the palette knife. That was something else about art at the Gate last year, was the for the artists to actually be able to get together and to sort of hang out and talk, and it was a lot of fun.
I say it now.
Hmm? Yep, no.
Who's that old fellow over there?
Oh, that would be Jean-Claude has come to annoy the other one.
Really is a pain, yeah.
But just the opportunity for the artists to get together and talk with each other. You know, I was really happy to be part of that, and enjoyed every second. Seeing people and seeing artists and their creations. It was quite impressive.
God, it was better before.
We had to hide behind the trailer at the end.